Happy Saturday! That's right, you guys. We've made it to another weekend, and you know what that means. It's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy another Saturday chat and chill, as this week we are going to be taking a look at a question that I've been getting a ton of, which is, what do I think is coming after the Dead or Alive 6 update? But first, before we get into that, make sure you guys smash that like button and subscribe if you're new here, and let's go ahead and get into this week's Saturday chat and chill. And I suppose I should give you guys a big fat disclaimer here at the beginning and let you guys know that we are going to be trying to look into the crystal ball just a little bit today, although we do have quite a bit of evidence to go off of, as well as some confirmations on Netmarble's side for a lot of this information. So some of this stuff will be guesswork, but on the other hand, a lot of it is already confirmed. But I figured since everybody had been asking me on Discord and in the comment section what I think is coming up after this collaboration, that I should go ahead and reiterate a little bit of that, as well as give you guys my thoughts on what I feel like I am going to be expecting here over the course of the next couple of weeks. So let's go ahead and start with what we know. So the first thing that we already have confirmed for the end of August update is of course going to be what I have been looking forward to the most in August, which is going to be Epic Quest Chapter 2. Now we do have some updates to the Epic Quest Chapter 2, and that is going to be the fact that we do have new data mines. Now these data mines are going to be courtesy of La Latino over on my official Discord, which if you guys are not in that, you should definitely get on that, because we have a ton of really fun information that floats around in there, as well as just having some fun with a lot of the guys there, so check it out, links in the description. But as you can see on screen, we do have updated character models for some of the bosses for Epic Quest Chapter 2, and that is going to be Ignis and Maxima. So we did have the old data mines from a long time ago from Epic Quest Chapter 2 that had featured that really weird looking version of Ignis as well as Maxima, and it looks like they have updated those to be a little bit more in line with what we've come to expect from the King of Fighters. So this is what we should probably be expecting for the bosses as far as the way they're going to look. We don't really have any other real information on Epic Quest Chapter 2 outside of the fact that it is going to be the epic conclusion to the Nest saga, which will be an important factoid that we are going to be talking more about here in this video. But as you guys are aware, I'm a big fan of Epic Quest. I think Epic Quest is jam-packed with a ton of value, as well as just being a fun game mode in general. So it's going to be really cool to see an update made to this. Now, they did tell us in that original dev video where they talked about some of this stuff that they had planned several updates for the month of August. We've already seen a couple of those rolled out, and so far the month of August has been a lot of fun for this game as far as these updates are concerned, and also been pretty generous. We have gotten quite a bit of really good free stuff, and it seems like that is only going to continue. I know a lot of people out there are really hoping that they see 3 PG cards for some of these characters such as Ignis and even Maxima and so on and so forth. So fingers crossed, we'll see what ends up happening. That's typically going to be something we get from Epic Quest, but it'll be nice to have those things. Of course, we already have a amazing 3 PG finisher for Ignis in the game in the form of the Boss Syndrome finisher card, but at the same time, for all the free-to-plays out there or the budget players or just the players that missed out on that Boss Syndrome run in general, this will be a nice little thing if they end up doing it. But speaking of cards, segueing away from the Epic Quest information, since we already have confirmation that that is going to be dropped from Netmarble at the end of August, we also have more information, again thanks to La Latino over on my Discord, from these data mines showing off some more assets for the Transcendental Battle Card system. Now, for those of you who have been keeping track at home, they did tell us that we were going to be getting this with the previous update, which was the Dead or Alive 6 update, and then they had quietly just not given us an update on that after the update went live, and they didn't give it to us. So we're all wondering, where the heck was it? Where did it go? Did they scrap it? What's going on? Well, it's looking like it has not been scrapped. Instead, it looks like it has been pushed, and it is looking like more than likely we are probably going to be seeing it at the end of August with the Epic Quest update. And these assets here were in the data as of the newest update that we got with the Chris update this past week. So that is what we are looking at here. Really not sure what it is we are looking at with these assets, although it almost looks like these are going to be generic quote-unquote memories to upgrade your cards, so we'll have to wait and see. But from the looks of it, it is seeming like there is the potential that we will be able to transcend every grade of card, and that is pretty interesting information. It is something that we didn't necessarily have confirmation on before, so now I guess we can kind of confirm that that might be happening. But again, we don't really know how this system is going to work. They have said in the past that we just need to use the same grade of card to upgrade cards of the same grade. So if you have a 6-star card, you'll need the 6-star cards or a 6-star grade, whatever these things are, or whatever the case may be, in order to upgrade and transcend your cards in a very similar fashion to the Awakening system for characters. For cards, this won't be that big of a deal since there's so many avenues and so many ways we get cards that it should be a lot easier to transcend your cards than it is to awaken your characters. But it also might look as if we could possibly be able to combine cards to get these generics that you're seeing here, so we'll have to wait and see how they decide they want to roll this out, but that's almost what it's looking like here. There wasn't a lot of information that could be gleaned from those data mines outside of that, but that is what we seem to be looking at here. And overall, I appreciate La Latino over on my Discord for bringing this to my attention and gathering up these data mines for me. But with all of that being said, the biggest question on everybody's mind, because really those are the only two things we really have confirmed for the end of August update, is going to be what is the next banner. Now get on your tinfoil hats, guys, because we are about to get into speculation territory. So we're going to talk about what we assume is going to be the next limited banner, and I am expecting a limited banner at the end of August to coincide with this update. This would be in line with the way they have been doing things recently, where they typically will give us a week or two in between banners, and then we end up seeing another limited banner rolled out. So once the Dead or Alive collaboration is over with, we'll probably have a week or two in between, and then we'll start to get some information on a new limited banner. But my assumption is, of course, that we are going to be seeing an SS banner. This is something that I think is a pretty fair guess, considering the fact that the last limited banner we had before the Dead or Alive update was a Boss Syndrome banner, and being that they like to alternate the SS and the BS banners, I think it is pretty safe to assume that we're going to see an SS banner next. But the big question is going to be, what are we going to see on that SS banner? Well, as much as I would like to sit here and tell you guys that I think in my heart of hearts that I'm finally going to get my SS King, or a Fest King in general, I don't necessarily think that that is going to be the case. I think that that is something that is probably in the pipeline. However, I don't think that it's going to be the next one, although I could be wrong, but I have a better guess in my opinion for this as far as what we're going to see, and that is of course going to be SSK and SS Kula. So the reason why I think that this is going to be the case whenever we get this update, and there's a couple of different reasons that we'll talk about. Of course, this has been the main SS banner that people have been speculating on for the past little while. Everybody has pretty much assumed that we are going to get these two characters paired together at some point as SS characters, which does make sense canonically, but there is another big reason why I think that this is going to be the case, and why I think that this is right around the corner, and that has everything to do with the fact that we are going to be seeing that Nests-based Epic Quest update with the end of August update, and so therefore it would make all the sense in the world if they want to blow out the Nest saga and end it in a big way, then they'd probably decide to go with this version of an SS banner. It only makes sense. Kay and Kula are definitely intrinsically tied to the Nest saga, and so therefore if they're going to give us an SS banner for these two characters, it would make sense that we would probably see it with this update, and I think that this would be something that a lot of people would welcome, although as I've been joking about on the Discord for quite a while now, I am kind of getting sick and tired of seeing all of these different FES and SS versions of burn characters. It's starting to get old. I think we have enough burn characters in the game at this point. We don't need any more, but I digress. At the same time, we could definitely use some top tier chill characters, and that should be what we get with Kula. And of course, K would be a burn-based character, but then you can all have fun speculating on whether or not they are going to have double dots on their kits and which dots they'll have and so on and so forth. But again, we don't have any confirmation on this type of information whatsoever from Netmarble. But I think it's pretty safe to assume that if they wanted to keep things thematic, that it would make the most sense to go this route. Of course, there are other SS banners out there that people would love to see and have speculated on for quite a while. A lot of people would really like to see an SS version of Terry, myself included, and a lot of people, of course, want to see SS Yuri, SS King, all of these different characters. However, with the way that they are doing things, I do think that this is going to be the most sensical option. So that is pretty much what I'm expecting here at the end of the month. There is a good chance that they give us some miscellaneous stuff like some events or so on and so forth to keep us busy to go along with this. But I do think that this is probably going to be what we see at the end of August. Of course, all of this could change, and you never know with the way Netmarble does things. They do like to throw you some curveballs every once in a while, but this would make the most sense in my opinion. But again, take it with a pinch of salt, because this SS speculation on my part is just that, it's speculation. You guys can let me know in the comment section down below what characters you think we are going to see with the end of August update, if at all. But I do think that you guys will probably be, the consensus opinion will probably be this one. I've seen a lot of people talking about this and getting pretty hyped for it, but at the same time, of all of the options, I don't think that there's a bad one. I think everybody'd be pretty happy with any of those different banners that they could potentially roll out, so we'll have to wait and see. But overall, the August updates have been really nice. However, I do want to take this time to talk a little bit about things I would like to see at the end of August. I'm really hoping that we get some sort, and I'm not talking about 40 or 50k worth, but I do hope that we get another small Ruby refund before these banners or before this update. Maybe give us another 10k login bonus or something along those lines. I think a lot of people, with the way the Dead or Alive collaboration will have just ended, are going to need it, so I think it is going to be necessary. They have shown in the past that they like to give us these types of updates whenever they decide to do these limited banners, so that way everybody has a little bit of a chance to pull, and therefore I think that this is something that we'll probably see integrated into this update in some way, shape, or form, whether it's a login bonus or otherwise, and we'll have to wait and see if that ends up being the case and how generous they end up being the fact that this is technically going to be a 3rd anniversary update as well, being kind of a part 2 update to the Dead or Alive update. So that's pretty much what I'm expecting to see at this point. I don't necessarily think that it would be very smart on our end to expect much more than that. I think that that would pretty much make for a really nice little update from Netmarble for the end of August and put a nice little bow on the 3rd anniversary. But then again, you never know. They might decide to give us that buff dungeon that they talked about in the past. I would really like to see that. And of course, everybody would love to see more PvE content, or at least just more content added into the game in general. And so I think that that's another thing that is going to be around the corner, but I don't necessarily know how far along that mode is. They've mentioned it before in a dev note, but really they've been pretty quiet about it since then. So we'll have to wait and see on that one, but fingers crossed, maybe we'll get lucky and see that as well. But either way, I think Epic Quest Chapter 2 will be more than enough to keep us all busy. So that's pretty much what I'm expecting to come up here at the end of August, you guys. I don't necessarily think we're going to be seeing much more than that, but if you guys have any ideas, you can leave them in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think we are going to be seeing as far as the next limited banner. But that is going to be this week's Saturday Chat and Chill, you all. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you found it informative, smash that like button and subscribe. I will be back on Monday. I am hoping to get some more spotlights out, and I'm also going to be hopefully doing a podcast over the weekend with Saint, going over the PvP power rankings and updating you guys on where the Dead or Alive characters fit into the meta. But until then, you guys like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Continue.